we're all ready.
Yeah, right here.
All right. Good for you? Come ahead!
Quiet on the set!
This is Michael Falkner, and it's showtime, the August 8th, 2011 edition of the Weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. This weekend's box office results start with number 10 and Transformers Dark of the Moon, slipping 2 from 8th last week. Coming in at number 9 is Horrible Bosses, down from 7th. At 8th place is last week's 6th, Friends with Benefits. Falling 2 from 5th to 7th is Crazy Stupid Love. And at 6th place is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, down 2 spots from last week's 4th. At 5th place with $13 million is Captain America, the First Avenger, moving down from 3rd place but meeting its budget with $143 million. In 4th place is new release The Change-Up, making $14 million. There's not much to say here, except that it was a disappointment in both R-rated comedies and the body-switching genre. At 3rd is last week's winner, Cowboys and Aliens, adding another $15.7 million to the $163 million budget. Holding on at 2nd for the 2nd week is the Blue Crew of The Smurfs, cashing in another $21 million to bring the $110 million film to a running total of $76 million. But this week's winner is Bananas with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, debuting at $55 million. Caesar and the Apes reaches the 5th highest August opening in history, but it didn't beat the box office take of the 2001 Planet of the Apes reboot. That can be readily attributed to not covering the iconic Apes storyline, while overcoming a decade of franchise hibernation. If the Apes can hold the box office, maybe we can get a few more entries in the classic line. August 12th brings a handful of wide releases to movie screens, starting with 30 Minutes or Less, an action comedy starring Jesse Eisenberg, Danny McBride, and Nick Swardson.
What the hell? Been sitting there watching the whole time?
I cut the whole show.
Okay.
Really classy move there at the end, by the way.
Oh.
Have a beer. The alcohol should help wash the taste out of your mouth.
That was sick!
We're business partners.
What kind of business are you in?
Entrepreneurs. You want to be a millionaire, Travis? You gotta start thinking like one.
We force some idiot to rob a bank for us.
The trick. Where do we get our due?
We'll deliver anywhere in 30 minutes or less.
Last night, 2 guys in masks jumped me and strapped a bomb to my chest. Now I have less than 9 hours to rob a bank.
Ring, ring. Oh, look, Bear's calling. Hello, Bear.
Wait, what do you mean you couldn't rob the bank?
Whoa! Okay!
Yeah, I like that bear. I don't even know you.
Is that thing real?
And if I don't get them their money in time, this thing is gonna blow.
And your first thought was to come to a school filled with young children?
What do I do, Chen? What do I do?
I guess you gotta just rob the bank. It's gonna be okay.
No, it's not gonna be okay. I'm gonna blow up!
Come on! Get yourself together!
Guns, mask. You sure you all don't want to grab some condoms?
No? Why?
Because this is usually what men buy before they rape someone.
Oh, we're not rapists. Us two, small fries.
It's gonna be cash or credit for your rape kit.
It's so pretty.
Remember in middle school when me and you worshiped the devil for like 2 weeks?
That was my best 2 weeks of my life.
What happened to you guys today?
Torch him.
Bank robbery, fools! Take your gun out and toss it.
Oh, I don't want this gun! Sorry, it was an accident.
Who slides a gun like that?
Homeboy's got the federales in hot pursuit.
Let me concentrate, okay? I do this for a living.
No, you don't. You get high and deliver pizzas. That's nothing like this situation. Whoa, that guy got messed up.
Drop your weapons! Put your hands on your head. Guess what? You just brought a gun to a bomb fight, officer!
2 fledgling criminals kidnap a pizza delivery guy, strap a bomb to his chest, and inform that he has mere hours to rob a bank, or else. 30 Minutes or Less is rated R. Next is The Help, a drama starring Emma Stone, Viola Davis, and Octavia Spencer.
Sorry I'm late. We didn't ever think you'd leave Ole Miss.
It does take 4 years, Jolene. I got a job today, writing for the Jackson Journal.
Great. You can write my obituary. Charlotte Phelan, dead. Her daughter, still single.
Does this dress look handmade?
I reckon when you finish it won't.
Thank you.
She looked like the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby.
I have drafted the Home Health Sanitation Initiative.
The what?
A bill that requires every white home to have a separate bathroom for the help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
Minnie? Hey, Abilene.
Hey, Minnie. These women raise white children. We love them, and they love us, but they can't even use the toilets in our houses.
Minnie, are you in there?
You are fired! You said to write about what disturbs me, particularly if it bothers no one else. I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help. I want to interview you.
No maid is ever going to tell you the truth. That's a hell of a risk to take in Jackson, Mississippi.
Courage isn't just about being brave. It's about overcoming fear and daring to do what is right for your fellow man.
What changed your mind?
God. And Miss Ellie Holbrook.
I'm gonna help with your stories.
We all are.
Y'all brought me into this, but I'm gonna finish it.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am, but you about to.
It's quite scandalous. Sounds like Jackson, if you ask me.
You tell Abilene. Do I have plans for her?
You're a godless woman.
We gone done it now.
The Help is a look at what happens when a southern town's unspoken code of rules and behavior is shattered by three courageous women who strike up an unlikely friendship. The Help opens on August 10th and is rated PG-13. Next up is Final Destination 5, a horror film starring Nicholas D'Agosto, Emma Bell, and Arlen Scarpetta. In the fifth entry in the popular franchise, survivors of a suspension bridge collapse learn there's no way you can cheat death. Final Destination 5 is rated R. Wrapping up the wide release slate is Glee, the 3D concert movie, a music documentary starring Corey Monteith, Deanna Orgon, and Leah Michele.
They were a class of ordinary kids.
Rachel, how do you keep your nerves from getting you on stage? You seem overwhelmed.
Who brought the world to their feet.
Why are you all standing? They haven't even done anything yet!
Sing it for the boys, sing it for the girls. Every time that you lose it, sing it for the world. Sing it from the heart, sing it till you're nuts. Sing it out for the ones that'll hit your guts. Sing it for the deaf, sing it for the blind. Sing about everyone that you left behind. Sing it for the world, sing it for the world.
Everybody's got a dream, and this is mine.
Glee totally celebrates the underdog, and it empowers the underdog in everybody.
Get your booty down here so we can bring this house down!
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street life, people.
Glee, the 3D concert movie.
Don't stop.
Please, save your money. This thing sucks.
Opens August 12th for 2 weeks only in Realty and Digital 3D. Soundtrack available on Columbia Records.
This film is a concert documentary shot during the Glee Live in Concert Summer 2011 tour. Glee, the 3D concert movie, is not rated. In the limited release slate, we have Senna, a sport documentary starring Ayrton Senna, Alan Prost, and Frank Williams. This film is a documentary on Brazilian Formula One racing driver Ayrton Senna, who won the F1 World Championship 3 times before his death at age 34. Senna is rated PG-13. August 9th is chock full of comedies coming to DVD and Blu-ray, kicking off with Super, an action comedy starring Rainn Wilson, Ellen Page, and Liv Tyler. After his wife falls under the influence of a drug dealer, an everyday guy transforms himself into Crimson Bolt, a superhero with the best intentions, though he lacks heroic skills. Super is rated R. Next up is Paul, an action comedy starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Seth Rogen. Two sci-fi geeks take a pilgrimage to America's UFO heartland, where they meet a smartass alien, Paul, who takes them on an insane road trip. As they struggle to return Paul home, a little green man might just take the outcast from misfits to intergalactic heroes. Paul is rated R. Next is Your Highness, an action comedy starring Danny McBride, Natalie Portman, and James Franco. When Prince Fabius's bride is kidnapped, he goes on a quest to rescue her, accompanied by his lazy, useless brother Thaddeus. Your Highness is rated R. And in classic comedies coming to Blu-ray, we have 1982's Fast Times at Ridgemont High, starring Sean Penn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Judge Reinhold. The film follows a group of Southern California high school students as they explore the most important subjects: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is rated R. This week's TV on DVD slate is all about the Doctors, starting with Doctor Who: The Sunmakers, starring Tom Baker and Louise Jameson. The TARDIS, along with the Fourth Doctor, Leela, and K9, arrive on Pluto in the distant future. The time travelers discover the planet has a breathable atmosphere and enjoys heat from 6 small suns, but the humans who live there are taxed and exploited heavily for the privilege. When Leela is captured and sentenced to death, the Doctor must save his companion, as well as stop the ruthless company before it's too late. The other release coming from the Doctor Who franchise is Paradise Towers, starring Sylvester McCoy and Bonnie Langford. According to the sales brochure, Paradise Towers is a utopian blueprint for community living, with its fabulous architecture and state-of-the-art facilities. The perfect place for Mel to take a leisurely swim, in fact. But when the TARDIS arrives, the Seventh Doctor and his companion discover that the futuristic tower block has fallen into ruin, and a series of unexplained disappearances have the tenants living in fear. As gangs of teenage girls run wild in the hallways, a squad of bureaucratic caretakers struggle to regain control. To keep the citizens of Paradise Towers safe, the Doctor must confront the resident evil lurking in the basement. And now, 2 news items for you in the Quick Flicks. Fans have long known that the daring acrobatics of World War II were a major inspiration for the space battles in Star Wars. Now Lucasfilm has released a trailer for the George Lucas-produced, real-life-inspired tale of the first all-African-American aerial combat unit, the Tuskegee Airmen. The film Red Tails will premiere in theaters on January 20th, 2012, and is directed by Anthony Hemingway. The trailer is available on StarWars.com. Even though The Amazing Spider-Man won't see theaters until July 2012, Columbia Pictures has so much faith in the reboot that they've already scheduled the sequel. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which hopefully gets a name change before release, is set to premiere on May 2nd, 2014. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums, or leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010, or write to John at chronicriff.com. You can also find the Weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook. The Weekly Podioplex is a collaboration of Creative Criticality and Lucky Shot Productions. This is Michael Falkner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at the theater.
That's a wrap.